Man. What's up, everybody? My apology. I don't know what is going on at all with my streaming service, how I stream. I don't know what is going on, so I'm going to just be streaming off straight YouTube. So bear with me. It's going to be very bland on the screen, but hey, we're going to get this stream in either way as we're here for this fight. Let me just make sure this link is going the right place. I think so. Round 8 of the Zerto fight. I've been dealing with so much technical difficulties and issues. Still trying to figure out. It's a very good fight. Dorticos has came to fight, and he's won a good amount of rounds. I mean, there's a possibility Zerto's down a round. He's kind of picked it up the last couple of rounds, but he has had a rough night in the office. Hasn't been, I don't think, as easy as maybe he would have expected or some other people might have expected, especially when you got people saying, hey, Opatai, what would he do against him? You wouldn't feel strongly in his possibilities against him. Kayla, this is the co-main. So if you're looking for the Jake Paul fight, that one, I assume, will start in around 30 minutes. But we just finished round 8 of the co-main for Zerto Ramirez. So still working with that. Jake Paul, the main event, is obviously coming up after this fight. This one looking like it'll go the distance. Going to be entering round 9. So if you're looking for that Jake Paul fight, hey, stick with us here at the Never Dropped podcast. But that one should be starting around 30 minutes, I'd assume. I can't imagine it would be too much longer after that. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. Anyone who was staying through, this is my 4th time starting up a stream because technical difficulties, but we are here. We are getting it in pause tonight. Appreciate everyone in the chat. If you're new, who do I think? That's a great question. I think for the Jake Paul, I assume you're going to be talking about the Jake Paul fight, Caleb. I think Jake will get the victory as we start round 9 of the Zerto co-main event. I think Jake will get the victory. I think it'll be a decision win against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I think it'd be a decision win, truthfully, for Jake Paul. I think Chavez Jr. He hasn't been a real boxer in a while, and he hasn't looked great in his past. I think he looked better at the weigh-in, looked confident, looked like he was taking it seriously, obviously. But I don't know. I think Jake might get away with a decision win here tonight. That'd be my prediction. Let me know in the chat, everybody here, what their prediction is for that main event with Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. is in the 9th. Dorticos letting go as Zerto is getting off the ropes. Was on the ropes for a little bit. I'd like to see a KO. I just don't. I mean, we could because you don't know. Chavez Jr., hasn't been himself in the ring for a while, 39 years old. So there's an opportunity. Jake could come through with a knockout. I don't see him pushing on the gas pedal to try and get the knockout. Is in the co-main right here, punches are being traded between the two cruiserweights, Zerto Ramirez and Dorticos. Again, let me know in the chat. Let me see. I've had so many pop-ups on this. Uh, Zerto, nice. There's a little bit of a combination, something we haven't seen. No, this is my second fight watch party. I did a fight watch party a couple weeks ago for the Richardson Hitchens fight. That was a fun time. Hitchens got the KO Madison Square Garden, the theater at MSG. That was really fun. I enjoyed doing it. I want to do more of these streams. Granted, this is a draw. Oh, Zerto Ramirez slipped awkwardly. A draw would be interesting. I don't think many people would be happy in the crowd. No, I didn't stream in MSG. The fight was in MSG. I was here on the couch watching it. Good time. This is my fourth stream here tonight because of technical difficulties. But hey, we are here. I enjoy doing these fight streams. A draw would be interesting. I was at good shot from Zerto to the body. I was in Brooklyn for Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. And there was a draw for that fight. I kid you not. Everyone, you're a fan of either fighter. You know, you think either fighter is going to win. Everyone's mad walking out of an arena when a draw happens, right? Because of the fact, hey, even if your guy loses, obviously you're going to be mad. But a draw is like, really? We just paid this money and it's tied. So a draw would be an interesting. I think, again, Jake edges a decision in this one. There's always that element also. If it's a close fight, would Jake Paul stardom, MVP promotions, would it go in his favor? That's always something on the mind of people. Obviously, Jayla here in the chat thinking that as well. As we finished up round 9 of the co-main. So we're getting closer to that Jake Paul fight. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. I appreciate you tuning in. Here, round 10 of the co-main event. All right, so they got Zerto winning the last 5 rounds, really picking it up. And I mean, between technical difficulties, I'd have to agree. Let's see. Zerto Ramirez. Let's see. Favorite fight to watch? I'd have to say my favorite fight I ever watched actually was Earl Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter. That was just a war between the two welterweights back in 2019, pre-car accident. Spence, as I think we're going to see a point taken away from Dorticos right now. Yeah, Holly Holmes looked phenomenal in that fight. She won every single round. As in the co-main right now, Dorticos is getting a point taken away. But Holly Holmes looked incredible, won every single round on every judge's scorecard. I'm excited to see her return to boxing. 43. Hey, there's some opportunity for women in boxing. Obviously, that huge July 11th card at MSG. Floyd Schofield, I'll talk about this more in between the co-main and the main event when we're, little time getting bought down. We're buying some time. Floyd Schofield, my winner of the night. Unless Jake Paul comes out here with like a first-round KO matching what Floyd Schofield did. Kid Austin, first round, comes back, knocks out Tevin Farmer. He looks like a legit player at 135-pound division. We'll talk more about that after this fight ends. Is Dorticos really turning up a notch, realizing this Zerto Ramirez fight is slipping from his fingers here. Again, not Zerto's best performance. It's funny. If you just watch, once you watch boxing for a while, you kind of, it's like any other sport. I'm just, I don't know any crazy information. Just at the end of the day, I'm just a fan talking about a sport I like. So it comes easy. as we're closing up on round 10 here in the co-main. Zurdo Ramirez has complete control of this fight. I actually did boxing for a little bit. Nothing like, just some light sparring, nothing amateur, professional. So, hey, I credit anybody who gets in a ring and puts really their livelihood on the line. We see Brian Norman Jr. just had that knockout the other week in Japan, and they said the dude he knocked out didn't remember the last 6 weeks of his life. So I give credit to any boxer. Hey, Jake Paul, he's fighting. Granted, he's fighting an actual boxer tonight, even though the dude's 39, hasn't fought in what feels like forever, hasn't looked good in probably about 8 years, really kind of just been fighting because he's the son of a legend and he can go off of that. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Jake Paul with this fight right now on the screen, the co-main with Zurdo Ramirez. If Jake Paul wins tonight, he would actually be ranked by the WBA, and he could be a potential fight in the rankings for Zurdo Ramirez, who looks like he's on his way to a win. Jake Paul would be in the rankings, and that would be a sanctioned, legitimate fight. And I just see Ryan Garcia not happy with Golden Boy Promotions. Just tweeted F Golden Boy Promotions, obviously Oscar De La Hoya, and that's Ryan Garcia's promotions, also doing the co-promotion for this event. So that'll be interesting. Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly Romero and out for a little while for a hand injury. That Spence car accident definitely affected him huge. I mean, we'll never be able to really understand who would win that Bud Crawford, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence fight if they fought in their prime pre-Spence's injury. Unfortunate, but those fights, I mean, this Porter one I talked about earlier from the question, man, that was Spence just saying, I'm going to just go in and throw punches. This is Zurdo Ramirez throwing some punches right now. Nah, Crawford knocked out Spence. TKO, technical knockouts. Ref stopped the fight in the 9th round. That one was not a draw. I'd have preferred it to have been a draw than that what happened that night, actually, as an Earl Spence fan. But Zurdo Ramirez, that's his second slip. You got to blame the slips right now on the big Celsius logo in the middle of the ring. It's happened twice here. Zurdo Ramirez has just slipped on the Celsius logo. It's interesting. He almost slipped again. That's one of the reasons, it's total off topic on a different tangent. The NBA went away from that big NBA Finals logo in the middle of the court is because potential slippage, because the sticker and everything for it, kind of a different surface and sweat can feel more, it can be easier to slip. And you see this big Celsius logo kind of stickered onto the middle of the ring, twice causing Zurdo to slip. Good left hand right there from Zurdo Ramirez, as he has picked it up. And this is the Zurdo Ramirez that we say, we want to see fight Obatai. Good shot from Dorticos to end the inning. I'm in baseball broadcasting mode. End the round, excuse me. Yeah, they could stop. You don't see it much because you could stop it like every 5 seconds then. But you could theoretically stop the fight to wipe off the boxing mat, as they're going to show Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. in their respective locker rooms. Hey, we're about 20 minutes away, I want to say, from ring walks. Again, if you're just tuning in, make sure you drop below in the comments who you have for the main event, Jake Paul or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And if you're new, also make sure to subscribe to the Never Drop podcast. I got all different types of boxing content coming to you. Think I believe I'll be in New York City for the Ring Magazine card on July 12th with Shakur Stevenson, Edgar Berlanga. Um, so I'll have all sorts of content for that. So feel free to subscribe and be prepared for that type of content as we enter the final round here. As Dorticos is going to need a knockout to get the victory. Zurdo Ramirez doing a good job of pushing and getting ahead in this fight. We're coming up on midnight Eastern time. July 12th, I'll probably just do a lot of videos from different, hopefully get a media credential. But either way, I'll be there. So a lot of different videos coming that week of July 12th. And then July 19th, one of the most packed weekends in boxing recent history, maybe even ever, just the amount of fights on the 19th. So a lot of content coming soon here, especially in the month of July. 2 minutes left here in the 12th, and which has turned into a Zurdo Ramirez looking like decision win. Let's see what Ryan Garcia has to say. Maybe it's about. Oh, he's saying he's still under Golden Boy for a little bit. Has creep up on a minute 30 halfway through this final round. With Zurdo Ramirez in complete control here over Dorticos. Zurdo started off extremely slow in this fight. Could have potentially lost the first 3 rounds. Came back to really, here we go. Here's some combinations, something we haven't seen too much of from Zurdo. Credit to Dorticos. He came to fight here tonight. He landed some good shots. Here's the footwork from Zurdo. We saw early in the fight, but not in those middle rounds because of the amount he was getting hit. Kind of wore him down as we're seeing it with 40 seconds to go and a victory looking like it's going to be in the bag for Zurdo Ramirez. Also, you got to think about Dorticos was deducted, a point because of a low blow. So it looks like this will be a victory here for Zurdo Ramirez. Big time victory. That's, did what he had to do here as he's crawling towards a victory with the final bell. Oh, good left hand. As that'll be the end of the fight. Both guys still looking at each other, but going to show some sportsmanship finally. And we will have a little bit of time in between for the end of this fight and the start of the Jake Paul fight again. Let me know in the comments below. Who does everybody have? Does Jake Paul get the win here tonight, or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. pulling the upset win? Let me know in the comments below. I will have to say, for Zurdo Ramirez, this was not a great performance from him. Oscar De La Hoya, before the fight, was talking about he wants a fight with David Benavidez and Zurdo. Hey. Ooh. I think David is a force to be reckoned with throughout. Him against Zurdo after this performance from Zurdo, and this isn't the best Zurdo Ramirez, but I don't know if that'd be good for Oscar and Zurdo. I think that might be a David Benavidez win and getting some belts at cruiserweight, but he's still got, some time at light heavyweight. We need to see him versus Beterbiev. Him versus Bivol. David Benavidez is each fighter in their corner here, waiting for the official announcements. Holly Holm returned earlier in this card for a victory. Yeah, I mean, they're saying it on the broadcast right now. Chris Mannix is Dorticos. He lost this fight, but he put up a good fight. Wasn't outclassed by the champion who has 2 belts at the division, Zurdo Ramirez. So we'll finally get the official announcement coming up here. And then we'll be on our way to the main event. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Let's see what this announcement is. Yep, so Zurdo Ramirez, unanimous decision win. Not surprising. That would have been a closer fight. 2 of the judges had it 115, 112, and it's 112 on the scorecard because of the point deducted. Would have been 115, 113, a.k.a. 7 rounds to 5. I think Dorticos is probably saying, let's run it back. Zurdo is probably thinking, no way in the world. This fight is Anaheim, California tonight. Looks like it's, I don't know. I see a lot of empty seats still. So I don't know how well the tickets have been for it. But I'm sure people still fill in. Fight crowds, they get in eventually. But, hey, this has been a fantastic card all the way around. We got some time here, so if you've been watching this card, let me know what your favorite fight has been. I spoke on it a little before. Floyd Schofield coming back with an impressively dominant performance against Tevin Farmer. Knocked him out in the first minute of the fight after, dropping out of a fight on February 22nd with Shakur Stevenson, saying that he was poisoned, even making claims that, Shakur's team poisoned him. A lot of people gave him slack, and I gave him slack too. Like, what? And he came back, and he knocked out Tevin Farmer in his return fight out in the first round. It was incredible performance. Got emotional, too. Started to cry a little bit. Floyd Schofield did. People calling for Zurdo versus Obatai next. I want to see that too. I would like to see that as well. As we're coming up here on the main event starting, also coming up on midnight Eastern time. Ariel Helwani in the ring. Ariel, a Newhouse and Syracuse graduate, interviewing Zurdo Ramirez. All right, let's see what he says here for the Jai Ibatai fight. All right, Zurdo says he's down for the fight. Let's make the fight happen. Tells Abatai to call him. Hey, let's do it. I want to see that fight too. No more marinating. Let's do it. Yeah, that. If you're watching the broadcast, that Todd Grisham, that was incredible. He just said, that sounds like, because I think Zurdo said, give me a call. And then Todd Grisham, I don't know if he said it to Antonio Tarver or Chris Mannix, but he said, sounds like you leaving the club. No one's got your number. Todd Grisham, that was a good one-liner right there. As we finish the co-main, Main event is coming up really soon. Comment below. Let me know in the comments who everybody has. We have people thinking Jake Paul wins by knockout or decision, or we have Chavez Jr. pulling the upset. Let me know in the comments below who wins and by which way, as the main event should start in the next 10 minutes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button as well here. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Zerto gets the wins. All right. This card has not been paced well. I'll just say that. This card has not been paced well. This has been a slow-moving night. We got Jake Paul by 7th round knockout. I've seen that. I've seen who had Logan Paul. His brother had him by 5th round KO. Logan Paul actually was on the broadcast earlier, and he actually wasn't terrible. Wasn't too annoying. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the Paul brothers, but Logan Paul wasn't terrible talking to Ariel Helwani. Those two, together though, they could talk for a while. So, yeah. I wish I could change this thumbnail so it is not so blurry. It makes no sense to me why it's so blurry. I think Jake would win in a fight between them just because Jake's been boxing more. Logan obviously with WWE, so he does more wrestling. So I think Jake would win in a fight. Why is this not? Man, I have had the worst streaming troubles here tonight. I appreciate everyone tuning in right now. And it's tuned in to some of the earlier streams, this stream, coming in, coming out. I appreciate everything. I enjoy doing these streams, so it's a good time. Yeah, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, July 11th on Netflix. If you're wondering why those names sound familiar, that was the co-main, the fight right before Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That was the best fight of the night, Serrano versus Taylor. Taylor's up 2-0 against Serrano, but they produce fireworks. And there's amazing women all across that card. So make sure, hey, that'll be a great fight. Coming up on the fight here tonight. This shouldn't be another Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight where Jake Paul just doesn't fight for the rest of the fight, if you know what I'm saying. That Mike Tyson fight, thank goodness that wasn't pay-per-view, or you would have had a lot of people complaining about wanting their money back. Hey, Chavez Jr. is going to come to fight. He knows he's got some pride on the line, and he kind of should need a victory. His dad, obviously the legend, has been saying, my son isn't losing to a YouTuber. So I don't know. Again, only minutes away from the ring walks. So comment below who everybody has. Man, after the first round knockout from Floyd Schofield, it has been slow burning here tonight. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Excuse me. Let me know. Who do we have as? All right, let's see what the odds are here. I saw earlier it was plus 900 Chavez winning a decision. That's good money. That's good money. Slick Nick, you dig, has Jake Paul. Nick, you think he's getting the knockout? Let me know. Anyone here think Jake Paul's getting the knockout, or is it going to be a decision? Hey, do we have any Chavez Jr. fans or believers in the chat here tonight? Let's see. You can make some money betting the Jake Paul KO plus 1,000 for Chavez Jr. by decision. So if you put 100 down for Chavez Jr. to win via a decision, you'd make $1,000. I think that's on FanDuel. So if you're a believer in Chavez Jr. and want to put your money where your mouth is, hey, $100, you can make a little bit of a come up on there. Let me know. Got some people in the chat. Got Jake Paul, a couple Jake Paul predictions. We had a draw prediction earlier. Not sure if Kayla is still in the chat, but Kayla thought it was going to be a draw. Someone said Jake Paul. Jayla earlier in the chat said Jake Paul because Jake Paul rigs all his fights. So it seems like we've had a good amount of Jake Paul believers here tonight in the chat. Any Chavez Jr. believers? I think Lamont Roach is streaming right now. Him and Tank Davis going back and forth. Okay, we're about to get underway. They're playing a little promo video right now. Not showing any highlights from the Mike Tyson fight because you can't show, elder abuse on TV, beating a 58-year-old, throwing two punches around. That was, again, terrible as they're showing some Mike Perry. The Mike Perry one was good. Knockout, even though he kind of faded throughout that fight. So I want to see his stamina. How is Jake Paul's stamina here? That's one of his things. Man, he will throw and then he'll be breathing heavy, crazy heavy, and the stamina becomes an issue. So we'll see what the stamina looks like tonight here for Jake Paul. As it looks like Chavez Jr. should be walking out soon. Who do we have? Hey, speak now or forever hold your peace before the fight. Oh, no. Are they about to? Yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. We got, this fight, and then we got some big UFC action as I'm going to try and refocus this camera. Oh, we got a Chavez Jr. believer in the chat here. Trying to refocus this camera. All right, do we think Luis, do we think Chavez Jr. by decision or by knockout? Because this camera just doesn't want to refocus. There we go. Jake and Tapourier. Yeah, let me know. Who do we have in the UFC fight as well? That should be a good one. We got a Tapourier. Why is this decision? Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have the power to knock Jake out. He's gonna need a stamina to get to a decision. Is finally the camera, focuses up. I think for Chavez Jr. it would be a decision. Is how he would need to get the victory here tonight. For Jake, I don't know. I like it. Chavez Jr. obviously is a former boxer. Went against Canelo years ago, but went against Canelo. He's got to have a chin. I don't know if Jake Paul's just going to come in here and, knocking him around the ring. So I feel like this fight goes to a decision. I'm leaning more towards Jake Paul. But it wouldn't be mind-blowing to see Chavez Jr. get the decision victory. Abigail, if you're still in the chat, how far are they into the UFC card? Are they at the Come? Let me know where they're at in that card. I've kind of been paying attention to the boxing right now. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the stream. I appreciate it. Got all your different boxing content here. Doing more fight streams. I enjoy doing this. And if you're new, haven't put your prediction, make sure you hit the prediction. Put your prediction in the chat. Let me know who you have. And this fight, as it should be starting momentarily, as we're reaching 12:10 Eastern time. For a great card, it's been slowly paced, but I can live with that, with it being a really good card. We've seen knockouts in 3 of the 4 fights so far. In the 4th fight, Zerto Ramirez kind of turned it up at the end. So we saw a good fight to end the night. Now, Jake Paul says in pre-fight interview he's knocking out Chavez. That changed anybody's mind. I don't see it happening. Even if it does happen, it doesn't change too much of my opinion about Jake Paul. Again, I don't see him beating. Oh, I 100% feel like this one feels realer than the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. And that was a fight that going into it, I was like, oh, I don't know what I feel about this. And then hindsight 2020, it was like, oh yeah, this was just a money play from them, which I thought also was the case. But then Jake Paul just carrying Mike Tyson, and I give Jake Paul the smallest amount of respect for not going in there and blasting Mike Tyson. He could have easily done that. He could have just wailed off on Mike Tyson in those later rounds because Mike wasn't. He was biting his glove, if you remember, more than throwing punches. So I give him a tiny credit, but he should have never been in the ring with Mike Tyson. Yeah, I still, can't believe that fight actually took place, but it did. Now, people can say it was great for boxing, wasn't good for boxing. It put Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor on the huge mainstream map for, casuals and non-boxing fans. They have their rematch coming, trilogy coming up July 11th on Netflix. So, that did some good for Tyson versus Paul itself. That was waste of time. As it looks like Chavez Jr. Luis, are you talking about this fight or the Serrano fight I was just mentioning? Because this fight, it looks like Chavez Jr. is about to walk out right now or soon. He's geared up to walk out. The Serrano Taylor trilogy is happening July 11th. It's going to be a Friday night on Netflix. As we're getting ready here. No problem. We are getting ready for this fight. It's about time. I always forget Jake Paul is Puerto Rican. I got the Puerto Rican, I believe Trunks it is. I believe it's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico. He has a $16 million mansion in Puerto Rico. He named it Taj Mahal. It's a solid name. Okay, yeah, he says he's somewhat Puerto Rican, so I'll take his word for it. But Puerto Rican outfit here tonight. Coach's got the flag. He's got the flag on his trunks. Man, okay, these guys are ready to fight. Let's get this going. Oh, wow. Chris Mannix on the broadcast says if this is the same Chavez Jr. that fought last spring, he will be dead. So, hey, I don't know. We're gonna see. The time is coming. All right, here we go. Tail of the tape. Then we'll lead into the ring walks. So again, this fight's on DAZN pay-per-view. If you want to go buy it, you can go buy it. Just telling you where it is, not telling you if you want to buy it or not. Just letting you know it is on DAZN. Oh, more Ryan Garcia tweets. Ryan Garcia's throwing shots at Oscar De La Hoya. You know what? They will be best friends again in 2 weeks. Seen this too much with Ryan Garcia. But right now, it is Jake Paul as Chavez Jr. is about to make his ring walk. Quickly, Ryan Garcia. He doesn't have a set date. He just, I believe, had hand surgery a couple weeks ago. He fought May 2nd. So hopefully he fights again here in 2025, but there's a chance we won't see him back in the ring till early 2026. So I'm not sure. Because the Mexican national anthem is taking place right now. Again, let me know in the chat, who does everybody have? We're moments away from the ring walk. This fight taking place at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I appreciate everyone tuning in here tonight for this live watch party of the fight. Coming at you here. I'm out here in New York. Fight in Anaheim, California. Jake Paul 11-1. No, 10-1, excuse me. Looking for his 11th win against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Let me know, who does everybody have as we're moments away from the ring walk? Hey, if I sound like a broken record, I apologize. That's, they've dragged this card along for a while. Originally, first fight started at 8. Floyd Schofield knocking out Tevin Farmer. Huge win for Floyd Schofield, knocking out Tevin Farmer. Now we're here at 12:16 Eastern time. I guess it's 9:16, time in California, so it's not too late there. But East Coast always, man, it's rough. Let's see. I don't know. Still anthems. Still anthem time. Let me know in the chat any boxing fights people are looking forward to other than this fight, other than the Paul Chavez Jr. fight we're about to see. Any fights coming up? We got the ring fights, on July 12th. Looks like the Tank versus Lamont Roach rematch on August 16th. Bam Rodriguez returns August 19th or July 19th. Manny Pacquiao. Who's excited to see Manny Pacquiao back in the ring? Let me know in the chat. July 19th takes on Mario Barrios for a title. Let me know. Anyone excited to see Pac-Man back in the ring? Yep, Manny is back. Now the question is, do you think Manny will be able to get the win? What I believe he's 46 now. I just saw him at the Hall of Fame. If you want to go check out my channel, I got his full Hall of Fame speech on my channel. Just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. He's going out. He's taking on Mario Barrios. Ooh, got to go in the distance. I give you credit. Barrios is tough at 47. Barrios is a great opponent. Hey, it scares me. 46-year-old man getting in there with Barrios, who might be in the prime of his career. I'm rooting for Manny. Don't get me wrong. I am rooting for Manny Pacquiao. Just scares me. The heavyweights, Dubois and Usyk. Dubois, excuse me. The rematch number 2 also happened on the 19th. So you got Bam Rodriguez, Manny Pacquiao, Usyk all in the ring on the 19th of July. And then the week before, Shakur Stevenson, Edgar Berlanga, Puello, Matisse, all these different guys. Great little 2-week, back-to-back. Chavez Jr. is being announced to the ring right now. We're about to get underway with this fight. Make sure you hit that like button, comment who you have winning, and subscribe to the Never Dropped podcast. As I will be walking through, talking about this fight here on this live fight watch party. I appreciate everybody tuning in. See, ring announcer going purple suit. I don't like the black bow tie with the purple suit. Purple suit's solid. Looks like a little bit, something the Joker would wear. But I can't be saying too much. As Chavez Jr. coming out for his entrance right now. I wonder. I mean, this fight's happening in California. I'd assume it's pro Chavez crowd. Uh, I'd assume a lot of Mexican Americans in the crowd for Chavez Jr. here tonight. It'll be interesting to hear, especially on Jake's ring walk, because sounds pretty loud in there for Chavez Jr. It looks like the crowd's filled out nicely as well. All right, they're saying arrested last year for illegal weapons possession. Hey, the fans on the vote say they have Chavez Jr. winning this fight. We will see. We will indeed see. Like this tweet from Matt from Brunch Boxing. Shout out to him. Julio Cesar, Chavez Jr., and Jake Paul are about to give us the next installment of the storied Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry. I'm talking about the Puerto Rican connection with Jake Paul. Those two countries have given wars in the ring between their fighters, repping each of those countries. Jake Paul, not your, I'd say, typical Puerto Rican, but counts nonetheless. As we are getting ready here for the Jake Paul entrance. Let's see. What is Jake Paul entering to tonight? I would go. Are those your three favorite fighters? Usyk, Poirier, Chavez. Great fighters to go with. Jake Paul making his entrance here. Antonio Tarver saying he's got a one-shot, he's got, one-shot KO power. I don't know about that one, but he might. El Gallo. Forget that's Jake Paul's nickname. Jake Paul. Okay, so he went Puerto Rican with the trunks. He's going Mexican flag with the robe. A little trolling from Jake Paul here as he enters this ring. I don't know. I can't hear what he's coming out to. Doesn't really matter as we finally are about to have this fight underway again. Last chances. Let me know who everybody has here. I think I'm going Jake Paul decision. Jake Paul is, that's why he's here right now. He is a troll. It's funny, as he's pacing the ring, Jake Paul last bout November 15th defeats Mike Tyson unanimous decision. It's just something crazy to read. Yeah, he's been talking his talk, trash talking Chavez Jr. here. For the Jake Paul haters, how good would it feel to see him get knocked out here? That's what, a lot of people watch his fights, buy pay-per-views. I don't know if they necessarily buy the pay-per-view, but they watch his fights because they want to see the night he gets dropped, he loses, So that's some of the appeal. That's just the truth. Also, make sure, if you're on X, Twitter, whatever, follow it at Backman Sports. for the social media on Instagram as well. Actually, I should have posted on Instagram before. Um, that is true. I totally forgot about that. At the Never Drop podcast. Whatever. I'm not going to post on my store. Too late. Dang, I forgot about that. That's what happens when you have technical difficulties. As my camera wants to go blurry again. What is this guy? I've never heard this ring announcer before. There it goes. I was going a little tough on his suit, but he's been pretty well. He's been pretty good. Must be MVP's guy. All right. Introducing Sean Gibbons in the corner. Promoter. Chavez Jr., 54 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 34 knockouts in his long career. So he's getting introduced to the crowd. Loud crowd. Yeah, it is 100% pro Chavez crowd there tonight in Anaheim, which I'm not surprised about in the least. Jeez. Wow. That's an introduction. That is an introduction right there. Now I assume that we're going to hear a rain of boos for Jake Paul. Already starting, yep. You know, the troll that is Jake Paul, enjoying it all, encouraging it even. Just told the camera. Just like the intro is just, how many fights he has, but it was just drawn out, 11-1 was 11-1 with 7 knockouts for Jake Paul. Dorado, Puerto Rico / Cleveland, Ohio. Only time you'll ever hear those two, together. Okay, there's doing too much on the intro. Talking about, I don't want to hear he bridged the gap with social media. Even if he did, let's get this fight going, man. It's 12:30. Here we go. Ring announcer just said he's the face of boxing. All right. Whatever. As long as we get this fight going. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nick. Really? The face of boxing, I believe you said in the United States. Hey, man, I still think, at least for the U.S., Tank Davis. Canelo's still probably the face of boxing globally. Jake Paul's up there. He draws eyes and everything, but face of boxing is crazy. All right, here we go. The opening bell is about to begin. And spilling water. Appreciate everyone tuning in as this fight is about to begin. A moment we have been waiting for 4.5 hours. We're here. Todd Grisham was trying to line up perfectly with the bell. Not able to, but we are here. All right, so we've started off, Jake, a couple jabs just to the hand, nothing crazy, just poking the jab out there. Chavez Jr. High guard. Want to see head movement. Woo, sweeping left hook. slow. Let's see. Jake looks like Jake's trying to go to the body here. Smart move against Chavez Jr., 39 years old. Slow him down to the body. Minute coming up here in the first round. Nothing too much happening. All right. Just poking the jab out there. Chavez Jr. moving around a lot. Let his hands go once, I think. Jake kind of teeing off. Not teeing off, but letting his hands go a little bit. All right. Chavez Jr. still hasn't thrown anything of note. Threw a sweeping left that went nowhere. Okay, there's a left jab countered by a left jab as well from Paul that got in. A lot of feints. Paul looks to be in command right here. Chavez Jr. still circling the ring. He's going to make Jake Paul cut the ring off. That's going to be how it has to go tonight for Jake Paul. Going to need to be able to cut the ring off. Turkey Al Sheik might call it Tom and Jerry fighting. We'll see if that continues the rest of the night. Excuse me. Jake Paul, heavy jabbing in this first round, loading up on the right. Nice right. All right. Chavez Jr., I don't know if he's downloading data or just this might be how he is. Has not thrown much. Hasn't thrown really anything. Jake, jab to the body. 40 seconds left here in the first round. Chavez Jr. is going to lose this round because he did absolutely nothing. Jake's landed some good jabs. He's gone to the body a few times, which good recipe for success if you're Jake Paul. Chavez Jr. moving around in the ring a lot here. There's a sweeping left hook. Just going nowhere. Jake's getting out of the way easily in that fight. All right, Jake on the offensive. Chavez Jr. saying he got hit in the back of the head. You still got 10 seconds of the round. Do not turn away from your opponent and talk to the refs. All right, round one. As easy as you can score at 1-0 Jake Paul. Jake Paul wrapping knife talk right now in his corner. So he's feeling pretty confident. Theo Chambers, his trainer, talking to him. Chavez Jr.'s got to throw something. He threw, I believe, 2 left hooks that were so slow. I think I could have gotten out of the way of those as well. Like I probably leaned back, watching on my couch. Those were extremely slow left hooks from Chavez Jr. And that's really all he threw. Jake Paul landing the jab, coming forward, and then got him on the ropes, let a couple right hands go into the body with the right hand too. So we'll see. We'll have to see. There's the nice overhand right from Jake they're showing on replay. That was a good one. Yep, did not land a single punch, they say on the broadcast for Chavez Jr. See, and this is something for Jake Paul. Like, this isn't his fault, but this could be, continue the hatred of, hey, you're not fighting people. When your opponent isn't throwing and is here looking like he wants to check right now, 30 seconds in, his opponent, like Chavez Jr. looks like he does not look like a former professional fighter. Let me know if you guys, if you're seeing anything different while watching this fight, but Chavez Jr. just, all right, here we go. Here's some movement, but oh, okay. The ref called time. I thought he was about to tell Chavez Jr. to start actually throwing punches. There was some Vaseline they had to wipe off Jake's face. I mean, only thing slowing down Jake Paul right now is the ref calling time. Here in round number 2, Jake easily won the first round, coasting right now in the second round. Chavez not throwing. Okay, there's a jab to the body. Maybe the first punch he's landed here in this fight. Man, Jake lunges in. Yeah, Allen, he's really just looking for a payday right now. And that's one thing, hate for fight fans when this is the case. And I mean, I'm never going to feel bad for Jake Paul, but if you were, you kind of feel bad because, he wants some validation. If he's just going against these guys who aren't coming to fight, tough for him. I don't feel sad for him, but, he's picking these guys. He knows that, Chavez Jr. is not the Chavez Jr. he was. All right, Jake with the right hand. Jab splits the guard from Paul. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what Chavez has in the bag right now because he hasn't thrown. There's a right hand. There we go. The crowd sarcastically cheers at that because that's the first punch they've really seen him throw with any tough intentions. And Jake Paul comes back with, I believe, 3 jabs and a hook, 2 jabs and a hook for 3 punches total. Didn't land anything cleanly, but he's on the offensive, something Chavez is not. Jake Paul, okay, coming in. Nice uppercut. Oh, nice jab from Jake. Chavez Jr. not looking good here. Easiest 2-0 I've ever scored, I think, watching a fight. Logan Paul said it when he was interviewed. Hey, Chavez Jr.'s quit in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if he quits in this fight as well. Man, he was immediately when that round ended, he looked up at the clock like, how many rounds do I have left to go? Not what I want to see. And I just don't understand for Chavez Jr. why you're not throwing punches. You're getting hit. I understand if you don't want to throw against a guy who you think is a counter puncher, you don't want to throw because you think you're going to get hit. But you're getting hit no matter what right now. Why not throw? Obviously, you'll be more susceptible to to getting hit because of a counter shot, leaving yourself open. But if you're Chavez Jr., you got throw something at least. Jake Paul does not respect you at all. He's walking you down. Honestly, Abigail, I think this fight, I don't know. If this is Chavez Jr., I think Jake might be able to stop him. He could put some combinations together. It might not go the distance. We'll see. Chavez could come back and throw some punches and, maybe get Jake to respect him and get Jake off of him as Jake's just teeing off right now. Goes to the body. Oh, man. Yeah, they say it on the broadcast. I was just thinking it as well. The high guard leaves the body wide open. Let's see. Chavez Jr., we are 45 seconds into this third round. Has not let his hands go once. Jake is letting his hands go, and the boo birds are coming out for Chavez Jr. He's complaining more to the ref than I think he's landed punches here tonight. And I sound like I'm a Chavez Jr. hater and everything. No, this is just the way the fight is going right now. It's unfortunate. And, say this continues for 2 more rounds. The pressure now turns to Jake Paul saying, you got to knock this dude out. You got to get him out of here with a stoppage. You can't let this just continue on. Appreciate everyone tuning in here. Third round, halfway through the third round. Chavez Jr. not throwing at all here. Jake Paul kind of hunting his prey right now. Chavez Jr. steps in and just won't let the hands go. Crowd is booing. Crowd is heavy Chavez on the walkout. They are booing him now, and I don't blame them. They came here to see Jake Paul lose to a boxer finally. Obviously a former boxer. This is not even close to the case. This has been bad for Chavez Jr. Jake Paul just coming forward, continuously applying pressure. Mix between the head and the body. Showing Julio Cesar Chavez. His dad, obviously the legend, just put his head in his hands like, what am I watching here? He might give. If you put him in the ring right now, he might get a better. He might give a better fight. As he's telling his son, push forward, let your hands go. It's not the case. Jake Paul slips on the Celsius logo a little bit. I said in the co-main. Oh, okay. There's a left. Finally, there's a left hook. This left hook was slow in the first 2 rounds. Nice left hook connected with Jake. Okay. Jake took it a little bit. It didn't hurt him or anything, but it landed. It finally landed. Okay. I mean, it's still 3-0 on the scorecards, but the left hook finally landed for Chavez Jr. Does that give him any sort of confidence to be like, maybe I have some sort of power to keep Jake Paul off of me? Because Jake is just walking him down right now. Let's see. Good body shot here on the replay from Jake Paul. Whew. Let's see. Show the left. No, that's the body shot again. No, they've shown the body shot 3 times. I'd like to see the left. Here. Nope, that's the jab. You know, it's an MVP promotion. I shouldn't be too much surprised that they're showing Jake Paul. Granted, hey, it's been all Jake Paul so far in this fight. 3 rounds to nothing. No doubt about it. In the corner, they're reminding him about that left hook that Chavez Jr. has smartly. That's the only punch he's really shown. Okay, so Jake's pressuring immediately, jabs. Now overhand right. And Allen said it perfectly. Chavez looking like he's just there for a payday. You know, lands a good shot to end round number 3. We're in round 4. My apologies for not pointing that out immediately as the bell rang. In round 4, Chavez Jr. not throwing, even though he landed a nice left hook. Hey, it's not looking good. I appreciate you joining the chat right now. It's not looking good. Jake Paul's winning 3-0. It's not about, because Jake Paul's winning. No, it's because Chavez Jr. Okay, there's a punch he's throwing. Jake Paul ducks out of the way easily. Chavez Jr. has complained to the refs more in 4 rounds than he's actually landed punches, I think. That one was a low blow. Complained about punches to the back of the head. These overhand rights don't look like someone coming from someone who's been a professional fighter in 60 different fights. You know what I'm saying? They're overhand looping. Like they look like you're fighting in a lunchroom or on the street, like overhand looping right hands. Just not what you want to see. As the high guard, Chavez Jr. coming in. Okay, there's a punch. There we go. A little left to the body, right to the head. Jake responding with some jabs. His most active round. Granted, hasn't been too active. Kind of. Okay, now he's on the offensive. Oh, just got hit with it. Good right hand from Jake Paul. You know, maybe those first 3 rounds are right now still a little ring rust. Okay. Going to the body with the left hook. Chavez Jr. letting the hands go a little more here in this 4th round. This could turn into a firefight if he picks it up, another couple notches. All right. Feinting is Chavez Jr. Okay, here we go. This 4th round, still going to, nice right hand. Was the back of the head. Jake Paul, but you'll take anything right now if you're Chavez Jr. All right. Jake's punched a lot in this fight. Is this where the stamina comes into play? I mentioned this pre-fight. Jake looks winded. He looks tired. Good left jab right there from Chavez Jr. His best round of the fight. Still a Jake Paul win on the scorecards. He's going to be up 4-0. But if you're Chavez Jr., you have built momentum from the end of the 3rd. You landed 1 punch, a hook, left hook, that kind of, stopped Jake Paul in his tracks. Built on it here in the fourth round. Started off slow, but built on it. All right, what is he going to do now? You've built on it in the fourth round. It was a Jake Paul win on the scorecards, but you landed some good punches. Jake Paul looks like he's a little bit tired, might have overworked in those first few rounds. I want to see Chavez Jr. come out right now and stalk Jake Paul, walk him down. He landed a nice body shot and then a little overhand hook, kind of hook to the temple. That might have been his best shot. Hey, they both were trading good punches in this round. I mean, for Chavez Jr., I think you have a time period in these next two rounds where you can really push the pace and see whether or not you can, drop Jake Paul, knock him out. I know we got people in here wanting to see Jake Paul get knocked out, and I can't blame you. I'm not the biggest Jake Paul guy myself, but so far in this fight, he's been dominating. Yeah, broadcast has it 4-0. Like myself, kind of easy to score. Chavez Jr. came around last round. Jake Paul. Good jab. And this is for Chavez Jr. Okay, here comes Chavez Jr. Jake wraps up immediately. Is it because he feels the power of Chavez Jr.? This is something we'll see over these next 5 rounds. We're in round 5. A minute is about to pass. Chavez Jr. I think what he's trying to do is let Jake punch himself out to start the round and then come in. All right, he's stalking a little. They're going back and forth. Who's walking each other down? Good back and forth action here. Jake, nice jab. Doesn't go too much. And now Jake's the one moving. It was Chavez Jr. moving earlier in this fight. Now it's Jake moving around the ring. He's going to come in with a 1-2. Chavez goes low. He's saying he got pushed down. Jake's going to get a minute or two. Jake's, he'll take that. He is winded. All right. They touch gloves, and we are started up halfway through round number 5. Nice jab from Jake. See, you want to see Jake versus Tank. We'll talk about I want to get back to that at the end of this round. Hopefully, Chavez Jr. can make this round interesting. All right, little head bump. You would like to see a Tank versus Jake. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of that fight. I mean, that would be one heck of it would be an exhibition. I think Jake Paul said it wouldn't be sanctioned. They wouldn't allow it to be sanctioned. It almost happened. If Tank didn't draw with Lamont Roach, that would have been the fight. Jake would not be fighting tonight, and we'd be preparing for a Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight in probably a month or so. Or heck, that might have been the fight here tonight. So, some people might say, thank you, Lamont Roach, for saving us from that. And some people might be like sarcastically, thanks, Lamont. You didn't let us see that. As we're 20 seconds left here in the 5th round. Who do you think wins that fight, though? Jake or Gervonta Davis? As Jake clearly winning this fight against Chavez Jr. 15 seconds left in round number 5. He's going to go up ahead 5-0. So, yeah, I still think Tank Davis wins that fight. Looping left hand goes nowhere. Overhand right goes nowhere from Chavez as well. As that is round number 5 in the books. 5-0 Jake Paul in this fight. The momentum Chavez Jr. had built in round 4 evaporated in round number 5. Yeah, I think Tank would beat Jake Paul as well. It just, it's weight. I think they said they'd fight at 195. Do you think skills, decide that fight, or do you think the weight advantage decides that fight? That's the real question. Here in this fight, what's deciding this fight here? Jake Paul's landing a million more punches than Chavez Jr. I gotta say, his jab's been nice. Yeah, and we've heard stories about Tank knocking out like welterweights and I think even heavyweights in sparring. So that could be legit. Round number 6 has started here. Jake Paul ahead on my scorecards. I think the broadcast as well, 5-0. Hey, if you just tune into the stream, I really appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You know, got all your boxing news, more live streams coming. I appreciate someone just liked right as I said that, as Jake Paul on the offensive here. As Chavez Jr. was complaining about low blows, ref said, nope, the belt line. Oh, really good uppercut from Jake. Looks like he's kind of caught a second wind here. Chavez Jr. again, just not letting his hands go. Now this is going to turn into pressure into Jake Paul. You really want to make a statement, you got to knock him out. You got to get a stoppage. And Chavez Jr., he's no slouch. I mean, it would be tough to get him out of this fight. You know. Going to the body is Chavez Jr. You know, nothing. Now coming in a little bit, Jake getting out of it. As a little tie-up. I'd love to see Canelo versus Jake. There is a fight you would see Jake Paul get knocked down in. Going to the body. Going back to the head is Jake Paul. Halfway through round number 6, Chavez. Oh, good left to the right to the body, left to the head. Now build on it. That's what I'm saying. Build on it. Instead, he's going to back up, and Jake Paul is going to pepper him with jabs. Now, right hand. Oh, Chavez Jr. landed a nice little 1-2 type combination. Jake Paul tying up. Again, build on this if you're Chavez Jr. Walk him down. Lead with a he's been countered with Jake's jab, you know, when he's led with his own jab. See, are we going to see at least one round where Chavez Jr. goes all out? All right, there's a good shot. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jake Paul turns him in the corner. He got hit with a shot, and Jake Paul turned Chavez to put him back on the ropes. And that was a really nice footwork and movement from Jake Paul, where it looked like Chavez was on the offensive and landed a good punch. Overall, the best round of the fight for Chavez. He looked good, and he landed some punches. I don't know in the totality of the round if you give it to Chavez, but he's going to have to go for the knockout here. He can land punches against Jake Paul. He can 100% land punches against Jake Paul. It's whether or not he builds on those punches. And he should have done body work to start this fight. He starts off to the body, man. He might have a weary Jake Paul later in this fight. As we finish 6 rounds. Oh! I believe UFC just wrapped up. Oh, wow. I'm not going to spoil in case anyone still wants to. Sounds like it was a pretty good fight in the UFC. You know, probably better than what we have right now was Jake Paul just landing the jab in round number 7. He's probably up 6-0. Dang, I was hoping UFC. I mean, it's 1 a.m. basically Eastern time. Of course, it's not going to be after this necessarily. All right, let's see. I don't like the legs on Chavez Jr. right now. They seem to be a little bit, not wobbly, but not in control 100%. But he hasn't shown that he's been rattled, by anything too much. Jake's sticking and moving here. Just saw that, Abigail. I got to watch that highlight as soon as I in stream and this fight wraps up. is now we're stuck with Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. here to wrap up the night. Minute gone in round number 7. Chavez Jr. again not building off of a prior round, which he was really good in. Personally, I scorecard I got it 6-0 Jake Paul. Chavez Jr. He's had 2 good rounds, but he's kind of had good end of the rounds, not like complete rounds. So I didn't give him that round. You know, if you want to be super nice, you could have it 5-1, but I have it 6-0 Jake Paul. Little jab fest here. Jake. Oh, nice uppercut. But Chavez Jr. is eating the punches. Props to him. There's Jake Paul. Red, white, and blue gloves. Obviously, flags of the Puerto Rican flag as well. Colors of the Puerto Rican flag as well. Tying up Chavez Jr. Everyone's telling Chavez Jr. push forward. Jake moving around nice. Again, I mean, this is a YouTube boxer. This isn't nothing top tier level. Crowd booing, sick of the holding in this fight. Not blaming them. Chavez, man, it just blows my mind the way he throws some of these punches. The left hook, like just lunging, and then the overhand right, just they don't look like, he's the professional boxer, not me. But I just don't understand. That's the round number 7. That one's concluded. 7-0. Jake Paul is my scorecard. And that, I mean, even though Jake is grabbing, to a degree, it's a good strategy because of the fact if he felt a little bit of Chavez Jr.'s power, right? So now every time he gets close, he's going to tie him up, right? The ref hasn't warned him, and Chavez Jr. hasn't done enough that it's like constant grabbing. So it's fine for Jake Paul. Canelo or Crawford? I've always thought Canelo, and I'm still going with Canelo because I think going up essentially 3 weight classes from 47 to 68. I know he fought at 54, but only 1 fight for Crawford. I think that's going to be too much. Crawford does have the skills to potentially beat Canelo, but at this moment, I still think Canelo gets the job done. I don't know. My mind might change. I think it'll be a decision win. I know some people are thinking he might knock him out. I personally don't think so. I think it could be a decision win, but I like Canelo. But my mind might change to get closer to the fight as well. Here for round 8, yeah, I think it goes the distance. Hey, you called this fight too. It looks like it's going the distance. Overhand right, just able to duck out of it is Jake Paul. Yeah, people are talking about that Sergio Martinez fight for Chavez Jr. Came back against to knock him down a few times. Incredible 12th round. He's going to need a round like that here tonight. Been dominated for 7 rounds and a minute, right? Jake grabbing some more, holding on, tying up. Hey, I'll say this. Jake Paul has had a nice uppercut here tonight, especially splitting the high guard of Chavez Jr. He leaves himself open when he, punches with that uppercut, but Chavez Jr. just not taking advantage of anything here in this fight. Okay, there's more tying up from Jake Paul when Chavez Jr. gets close and somewhat on the inside. Jam talked about it. Okay, here's a little bit of a warning. Not a warning necessarily, but the ref talking to Jake Paul. 25 pick parlay. Woo! Woo-hoo. Oh, Jake Paul's. He landed a good shot. Chavez Jr. still coming forward. Props to him. Oh, nice left hand. Yeah, I mean, for the first 2 minutes of the rounds, these guys are just holding. Jake's jabbing. Chavez Jr. isn't throwing. And they get thrown the last minute of the round to a degree. That 25 pick parlay, Abigail, is that all UFC boxing, or are there other sports involved with it? As Jake Paul uppercut mixture, yeah, makes sense. I was gonna say, yeah, 25 would be a lot, combat sports to make 25 picks. So, okay, here we go. Here's some action. Chavez Jr. again, he lands good shots and he kind of backs up. And credit to Jake, he's ate the shots and then returned with his own. As Jake wins another round. NFL. It's not NFL season though. Like future? Well, what's one of the NFL bets you have? All right, 2 rounds left. Everyone in the chat. I think he just finished round 8. Do you think Jake Paul gets the knockout? Okay, I see. Gotcha. Oh, I see what. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you'll have to wait a long time to see the completion of that parlay. That's credit to you. Yeah, let me know, people. Do we think Jake Paul gets the knockout here? I mean, the criticism is going to be if he does not get a knockout, and fighting a fighter that, yeah, that you hit a 25 leg parlay. I don't know what the payout is, but I guarantee you, I'd assume it's worth the wait. Absolutely. Does Chavez Jr. have a Sergio Martinez round in him? From what's been happening in this fight, I do not see it happening. Okay, here we go. Pushing a little forward. There's Jake Paul. He is livid, Chavez Jr., about these low blows. The referee is saying it's on the belt line. Hey, if it's on the belt line, it's not low. I couldn't really see. The camera angle was a little behind, so I couldn't see too clear, excuse me, where that punch landed. Oh. Yeah, they're talking about his stamina, Jake Paul, that is. I agree. He looks good stamina-wise, but there's moments in these. Oh, okay. There we go. Chavez Jr. letting the hands go, and Jake immediately tying up. Man, if Chavez had anything. If Chavez had anything sort of consistent in this fight, it would be insane. Minute left here in round number 9. Jake just jabbing. Chavez Jr. walking forward, left to the body. Good right hand, good straight right. Jake tying up again. Again, Jake's tying up. The power, he can feel it for Chavez 100%. Oh, good rip into the body from Chavez. If he did this earlier, though, we would be talking about something else right now. But Jake, of course, Jake's had a nice jab tonight. Oh, really good right hand. I think that might have stunned Jake Paul for a second. Now, oh, good uppercut. Okay. Oh, good left hand from Chavez Jr. Best 3 punches of the fight. Oh, another good left. Chavez Jr. push. 10 seconds left in the round. Won't do it this round, I don't think, as he's letting off. Okay, we're going to have an exciting 10th round. Woo-hoo. Chavez Jr. puts his hands in the air for the crowd. Oh, man, you might have won that round. I'll give you that round out of pity. It's still 8-1. But he had a really good round right there. He landed some nice punches. He really started with the body, landed some nice body punches, and then finally a left, and then a right, and then nice jab, just straight. Jake, we're talking about his stamina. No, there's instances where his stamina in the ring, in the round, just he's heavy breathing, and there it is. So here's the question now. Has Chavez Jr. saved it all for the 10th round? He looks animated in his corner right now like he might have. They're saying knock him out. Woo-hoo. I think this is going to be fireworks here in the 10th. Okay, here we go. Round number 10. Chavez Jr. needs a knockout for the win. 15 seconds in, not much action. Jake, overhand right. Chavez Jr. I wonder if he's going to let Jake here try and tire himself out. Go to the body, left, right to the head. Okay. There's Chavez Jr. He's stalking Jake right now. Right misses. Left to the head. Good shot. Left to the body. Jake is throwing back to the body right there. All right. Chavez Jr. still stalking. Again, he's landed good shots, stunned Jake, but hasn't hurt Jake. He's going to need to knock out Jake to win this fight. Jake immediately ties up as he gets to the ropes. Chavez Jr. has 2 minutes to go here in this fight. Jake, okay, he's going to go right to the body, left to the head, bulldozing in, not allowing Chavez to even get off punches, kind of smothering him so he can't extend the arms to let off punches. Okay, Chavez coming in, short right to the head, minute 45 left in the round. Chavez coming in and not able to get punches. Jake also coming in, smothering him. Good left to the body as Jake is moving halfway through the round. Chavez Jr. has to go if he wants a chance. Left to the head, good shot. He's going to just have to exchange right here. Jake, nice footwork to get out of the corner and off the ropes. Minute 20 left. We haven't seen Chavez with any of the punches he finished round 9 with. Comes in, Jake immediately ties up. Jake has felt the power as the crowd is booing him. Minute left here in this fight. We're going to have one heck of a KO if Chavez can get it here. Good left hand. Chavez coming in, has Jake on the ropes. Now loading, but not able to land too many shots. Was throwing, weren't able to do too much damage. Jake just throwing to keep Chavez from throwing. 40 seconds left. Chavez has got to do something. Oh, 2 good right hands. Jake isn't hurt, but those did affect him. Nice left hand. Oh, Jake's grabbing on. You got 30 seconds left. Chavez has got to just throw. 25 here left in the fight. Man, this is a different Chavez we saw the first 8 rounds. 15 seconds left. Jab from Jake to keep Chavez off of him. Now he's throwing. Chavez has just got to let the hands go. Right hand, 10 seconds left. In the corner, Jake's going to tie up. No, he's going to fight it out. As Chavez Jr.'s just got to throw something. Have maybe one punch. Left hook. Really good shot, but they're going to tie it up, and that's how the fight is going to end. Fun last 4 or 5 minutes, but Jake Paul is going to get the win. Chavez Jr. looks like he saved up for the end of the fight, just wasn't able to deliver a knockout blow. Yeah, that's it. Jake Paul is going to be victorious here, as Jake won clearly 8 rounds, might even won the 9th round. Yeah, Chavez Jr., 8 rounds, especially the first 4, were just complete washes. Chavez Jr. not doing anything. Would land some punches, did land some punches, but it was all too late. And Jake Paul, to a degree, solid chin. Even though some of those shots did, I want to say, stun him for half a second, nothing seemed to hurt him. And he was smart. We talked about in the chat earlier, that was JM, was saying Jake keeps grabbing. If Jake doesn't grab early in the fight, those shots kind of wear on you throughout the fight. And he never went to the body. That's what I'm talking about with Chavez Jr. Never went to the body, very rarely early in the fight. Those body shots help build up, and break down a fighter. Never did that. It's Julio Cesar Chavez. He's telling his son, throw the left hook. You were coming in. Throw it. He's not happy. He knows his son lost this fight. It's like, there's great fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Gervonta Davis, who take those first few rounds off, but it's like they're downloading data, right? With Chavez Jr., felt like he was just taking those first 4 rounds off because he was tired, ring rust, and like he didn't like he just wanted a payday. Wasn't in there downloading any data. Was just realizing, saying, okay, I'm gonna try and slug it out my way to a victory. So I don't know. We're going to see here is families and trainers all meeting together in the center of the ring. I want to see, who does Jake Paul call out? It's going to be Canelo. Is he going to say, hey, Zurdo Ramirez, I want a title shot? Yeah, like they're talking about Jake's performance on the broadcast. This was a better performance, I'd say, than against Mike Perry. Somewhat of the glazing of Jake Paul. I hate saying that, but happening. As we're here, about to get our official announcement, should be Jake Paul unanimous decision, but we'll see. 99-91, 9 rounds to 1. 97-93, 7 rounds. Okay, so each judge had it 9 rounds to 1, 8 rounds to 2, 7 rounds to 3. As Jake Paul officially gets and wins the unanimous decision over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Here, again, the judges, one judge had it 9 rounds to 1, second judge had it 8 rounds to 2, third judge had it 7 rounds to 3. So we're going to see now, now the question is, who does Jake Paul call out? What does he have to say in his post-fight interview? This is the Jake Paul experience for you. It is the Jake Paul experience for you. Crowd booing Jake Paul. Yeah, I mean, here comes the trolling from Jake Paul. Jake Paul cussing out the crowd right now. It's just saying he whooped him and then gets asked, you disappointed you get the stoppage, and he's like, oh no, he's a tough fighter. Interesting. Jake Paul saying he had a flawless performance. Definitely. Says nothing stunned or hurt him. Oh, calling out Zerto. Anthony Joshua. Okay, so he called out Zerto Ramirez, Badu Jack, two cruiserweight champs, Anthony Joshua, Gervonta Tank Davis, and oh my goodness, Tommy Fury. Okay. Yeah, so Jake Paul says he wants to fight champions. He wants Zerto Ramirez, Badu Jack at cruiserweight, calls out Anthony Joshua as well, who's a heavyweight. Knock his head off, I think Joshua would. We'll see. We're going to the drawing board, and there's a long line. So they got to wait in line, take a fucking ticket. But you have a preference. I don't care, bro. I got a bunch of time. I'm 28 years old. I'll play anyone, anytime, any place. It's every day, bro. Someone said, let's bring it. Ariel Hawani, man, drops that. It's every day, bro, in the post-fight interview. And my camera goes blurry again. Interesting. I got the first 5 rounds, so I tried to win the last 4 rounds. I get these good touches, so after 4 rounds, I feel tired. That's good touches. Chavez Jr. saying he knew he lost the first 5, tried to win the last 4, didn't do it. No, this is strong. Good boxing. The first 3-4 rounds. After that, I feel tired, so I don't think he's ready for the champions. But oh, says Jake Paul's not ready for the champions. Yeah, all I need is myself. If I listened to anybody in life, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So self-belief is all it takes. If you're a kid at home, don't listen to anybody that tell you you can't do shit. I'm living proof of this shit. I'm from Ohio. I didn't have shit. Self-made motherfucker all the way to the top of the game, and I'm still going. I'm 28 years old, and I run this fucking shit. Julio, one last one for you. Do you want to keep fighting after this? Yes. Yes. You want to come back this year? Yes. I think the first all right, so that's basically it. So Jake Paul gets the decision win against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get a few everyday bros in the post-fight interview. Hey, Jake says he wants some of the champions. If he does, props to him. I still think all the champions beat Jake Paul if that was to ever take place. But, if Jake Paul wants to fight Badu Jack, Anthony Joshua, Zerto Ramirez, go ahead. Also called out Tommy Fury. Really didn't call out Canelo Alvarez, but he's had plenty of smoke for Canelo. Either way, Jake Paul gets the win. Honestly, not too surprising. Kind of what I was expecting. Did it more dominantly, but that was more from Chavez Jr. not fighting basically for the first 5 rounds. And then he landed some nice shots, but was very fatigued. So that is the case here tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's 1:20 Eastern, 1:19, 1:20 Eastern time. Hey, if you haven't, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everyone tuning in, chilling out with me, chopping it up in the chat. It's been a good time. I like doing these fight streams. Want to continue doing these fight streams. It's a fun time. I appreciate everyone in the chat tuning in. Apologies for some technical difficulties earlier. It is what it is. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this comment. I appreciate it all. Excuse me. Oh, damn. Excuse me. Jake Paul gets the decision win. What's next? I guess we will see. I'm Luke Backman with Never Drop Podcast. Catch me at Backman Sports on Twitter. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Never Drop Podcast. Hey, that's all I got for you tonight. Thanks for chilling with me, tuning in for Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Jake Paul gets the unanimous decision victory. Check out my channel. More videos coming soon. That's all I got for tonight. Peace, guys. I'm out.